How to take pictures of track and field. Part 3. The throwing events. Throwing is the third video in the track and field series. Throwing events at my school and what we will cover. Gear and exposure, field layout, shot put, where to shoot from and sample pictures. Discus, safety, where to shoot from and sample pictures. Gear and exposure, daytime, you have plenty of sunlight. Camera, most any camera will work. Lens, these are for the APS-C camera. 18-140 general purpose lens. 75-300 for the longer shots, like shooting discus on the far end. 18-400, this is an alternate one kit lens. Exposure, mode S, 1/1600 of a second shutter speed, ISO auto. This is the field layout at my school. In the top right corner are the shot put and discus areas. You can see they're separate from the track area. When you shoot shot put and discus, you are not going to be interfering with any of the other track events because you are separated. However, on this field, shot put and discus are in the middle of the track, so you can interfere with the track events as you are shooting shot put and discus. So be aware of the events happening around you. At some schools, the events are packed close together. Do not go into the area of an active event that may disrupt the event and may cost your school a penalty. Check with the officials to find out where you can and cannot shoot from. Shot put. Where to shoot from? From the sides of the pad, as in the picture on the right. These are some examples of pictures shot from the side and back of the pad. From downrange, as in these pictures. And here's a summary from both sides of the pad or the back of the pad and from downrange. Discus. Safety. Do not go near the safety net around the throwing pad. If a disc hits the net, it will flex a lot. And if you are close to the net, you could get hit by the disc. Do not go near the sideline. As in the picture above, the red lines on the side indicate the side of the throwing area. The problem is, when the disc is thrown, it does not always stay within the throwing area. I have seen a bad throw go far to the side of the throw area. And you do not know how far the disc would be thrown. Ask the coach or officials how far downrange you have to be safe. Where to shoot from? Safety. First item, look for protection. In the case of this picture, in the orange square is a chain link fence. I am shooting from behind the chain link fence towards the pad. Next is distance. The farther you are, the longer it will take for the disc to get to you, and the more time you have to move. Ask the coach or officials how far downrange you can shoot from. You really don't want to be where the disc is coming down. What to shoot? The spin, as in the two right pictures, and the release in the left picture. Where to shoot from? The side of the throwing pad, as in these two pictures. Or the side of the throwing area. However, as I said before, that can be a dangerous spot. at the last meet I've been to, I did not shoot from that area because there were a few too many discs being thrown out into the area, both left and right of the throwing area. So it wasn't a safe spot to be. Then downrange. From downrange. These are 4 pictures shot from downrange. Note, you will need a long lens. But what lens? Next slides will cover this. You remember the previous image? Well, here is the full frame image shot with a 100mm lens on a micro four thirds camera. That is equivalent to a 130mm lens on an APS-C camera or a 200mm lens on a full frame camera. So, 70-200 lens on a full frame camera? Yeah, little short. You're going to need a longer lens than that 70-200. So how much longer? This is the same image from before with a red square in the middle. That red square is approximately a 2x magnification. So it would be a 200mm lens on a micro four thirds camera, a 265mm lens on an APS-C camera, or a 400mm lens on a full frame camera. So if you're using a full frame camera with a 400mm lens, you still have to crop into that image. So what lens would I recommend? Well, for APS-C, 18-400. The 18-400 will let you shoot both on the side of the net up close and downrange like this when you can just zoom in with 400. Where to shoot from summary. The side of the throwing pad, the side of the throwing area, which is kind of dangerous, and downrange. The end of part 3. Please like and subscribe.